ॐ स्थातकाय च दहिनस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। Our Shastras say, त्यागे नैके अमृतत्व मानसिकु. That is, the path to attain immortality or to attain God, the path is tyaga, that is renunciation. Now this tyaga, this renunciation, it requires immense willpower on the part of the sadhaka, because this attraction towards lust and greed, it is so strong inside us, result of the thousands and thousands of births that we have spent on earth, that every time a temptation comes before us, we will be strongly attracted towards it. We will be strongly want to indulge in that attraction. In order to stand this tide towards this lust and greed, or as Sri Ramakrishna used to say, Kama and Kanchana, we need to develop very strong willpower. We need to develop our practice of yoga or our sadhana to such an extent that every time a temptation comes before us, we will be able to control our mind, we will be able to control our desires, we will be able to stop ourselves from indulging in that temptation. This is the basic path of sadhana. This path in our Shastras is called Jnana. But suppose there are many sadhakas, aspirants towards the path of spirituality, who will say that we do not have this strong willpower, we do not have this strong control over our mind or about our desires, that when desires come, when these temptations come, we will not be able to control ourselves. So what is the path for us? So the second path is also given in our Shastras themselves. This path is the path of devotion or bhakti. What does the Bhakti Marga say? There is an avatar, that is the Ishwar himself, when he takes kanya or pity upon us, upon our suffering, he will come down to earth taking the form of a human being. And when this avatar comes on earth in the form of Sri Rama or in the form of Sri Krishna, it gives us a great opportunity to surrender to their lotus feet, Shanagati, that is this Sanskrit word, to surrender our ego, to surrender all our desires to the lotus feet of the God, and to pray the God that, see, I am not strong enough to resist the temptation, this attraction, this strength of this worldliness. So the path before me is that I am now under your protection. Please take my responsibility and protect me from these dangers of this world. This is the path of bhakti. Now you see, when Sri Ramakrishna was in Dakshineshwar, two types of devotees, they started coming towards him. One were the devotees who were in the samsar, who were married with children, with job, with business. And second type were young men. This young man, highly educated, highly talented, with a strong willpower, strong control over their desire. This young man, Thakur began to teach them the path of jnana or the path of renunciation. And when these householder devotees they came to Sri Ramakrishna, he began to teach them the path of devotion, path of bhakti. One of the householder disciple, he asked Sri Ramakrishna, what should I do? The Thakur says that take the name of Hari. Clap your hands and take the name of Hari. This is the best sadhana for you. And this devotee later on he says that this sadhana, I clapping my hands and taking the name of Harinam, this helped me immensely in my spiritual practice. So this was the practice Thakur used to teach them. Now, but there is another category of devotees. That is, there is one unique devotee in this third category. His name is Girish Ghosh. We all know his name. When Girish came to Thakur, he asked Thakur that, okay, now I have accepted you as my teacher, as my spiritual guru. So please advise me, what shall I do? So Sri Ramakrishna says, as he used to tell everyone, that okay, in the morning and evening, take the name of Hari, do Harinam. So Girish Ghosh, he started thinking that see, what was the life of Girish Ghosh? Means there are householder disciples. They can very easily practice Harinam, Sankirtan, morning and evening. They have that much willpower, that much discipline in their life. But Girish, now what was the profile of Girish? Girish was a Natyatar, he was the owner of a theater, and his whole life was one, you can say, one crisis after another. He was involved in many court cases, and one after another, this production of the plays were going on in his theater. So Girish was on one hand extremely busy, and on the another hand, the second point is there was no routine in his life. He might have to go to theater at midnight. He might be eating his food, and suddenly the message comes that now is the time for you to appear in the court. So he will renounce his food. He will, forgetting his food, he will have to go to the court. Now this was Girish's life. So when Thakur said to Girish that see, we take Harinam in the morning and evening, then Girish started thinking that if I say yes to this, then what will happen to me? I will be under the obligation to take Harinam every morning and evening, but there is no routine in my life. There is no saying that at which time I will go to sleep, at which time I will wake up in the morning, which time I will take food. So how can I promise something which I will not be able to do? So all this thinking is going on in Girish's mind. At that time, Thakur realized, Thakur was Antaryami, you can see, you can read your mind. So immediately Thakur realized what is going on in Girish's mind. So immediately Thakur said, okay, if you cannot do Harinam in the morning and evening, then do at least one thing. Take Harinam, take the name of Hari before you take your food, your lunch or dinner. At least you might not sleep on time, you might not wake up on time, but at least you will have to take good time food. Without food, a man will die. So at least whichever time you take your food, you also take the Harinam first. So again, Girish started wondering. He is absent-minded, always his mind is going on. He has some creative. He was a poet, so he was writing poetry, etc. And also, as I said, that he was involved in fraud cases also. So he is eating and he is not aware that what he is eating or when he started eating, when he stopped eating, that much distracted he was in his life. So again, Girish started wondering that if I promise this, then again I might have to break my promise repeatedly. I will not be able to take Harinam every time I take food. So again, Thakur realized what is going on in Girish's mind, and he gave him the third option. If you cannot do Harinam before you take food, then give me the power of attorney. I will take care of you. So immediately Girish realized that this is the best option. I don't have to worry about morning and evening Harinam Sankirtan. I don't have to worry about Harinam before food, after food, everything. I just have to trust in God, trust in Thakur that He will take me across this ocean of Maya, this Bhavasagar. He will take me across it. So Girish immediately said, yes, Thakur, yes, sir, I will give you this power of attorney over my life. I will give you complete control over my life and I surrender to you completely. Now I accept you as someone who will do tapasya on my behalf, who will eat away all my karma and karma phalas, and he will give me Atmagyan or Ishwar darshan. So here the incident ended. But this giving of power of attorney is such a powerful concept. At that time, Girish didn't realize, but later on, he realized that see, it is easier to do sadhana, it is easier to do tapasya. It's like the Dhruva. Dhruva stood on one leg for 1000 years in order to have the darshan of Hari. But this was easier compared to what Girish had gotten himself into. This complete surrender to Thakur, complete surrender to God. Girish himself describes this later on. He says that see, when his own wife passed away, his own sons and daughters, his children passed away due to some reason they died. At that time, Girish cannot even grieve. He cannot even cry. Why? Because he is just a puppet and Thakur is the puppet master. He will have to do everything according to Thakur's wishes. And one day he started thinking that I will do something like this, I will do something like that. Immediately from inside him, that voice came. Who are you to do something? You are not an actor, you are not in control of your own life. Thakur is now in control and your duty is to just to live the life like a flow by completely surrendering your will to Thakur. So this was Girish's surrender to Thakur. Now what happens, we have to here remember one thing. So many people say that yes, I have given my responsibility to Thakur, now I don't have to worry about anything else. Here there is one danger. Thakur himself tells the story of a Brahmin. There was one person, one man, he had a very nice garden and he had worked very hard to cultivate this garden. And one day what happened? A cow came inside the garden and she started eating the plants, these flowers. So this person, he became angry and hit the cow. Immediately the cow died. So this person, this man, he was worried that killing a cow, Go Hatya, is one of the most dangerous sin in our Shastra. So he thought that now I will have to go to Narak, to the hell. But then he started thinking a new trick. When this Yamadut, these agents of God of death, they came to take him, he said that Indra has killed the cow. Why? Because I have hit the cow with my hand and the god of hand is Indra. That means Indra has killed the cow. So this Yamaduta, they went to Indra to take him to the hell. So Indra says, please give me a few little time and I will go to this Brahmin and I will straighten him up. So this Indra, he took the form of another man and he came to the gardener's home and he started praising all the plants, etc. Very nice plant, very nice flower. Who did this? So this person whose garden it was, he became very happy and he says, I have done this, I have done this. This is my garden, this is my flower, this is, I have worked on this. This is my result of my hard work. Immediately, Indra said, he took his real form and said, see, at the time of taking the credit, it is you. But at the time of taking the sin, it is Indra. How is this possible? So immediately Yamadut came and took this man away. So when we say that I have surrendered to Thakur, it doesn't mean that it gives us a license to do whatever we please. Good and bad, credit and discredit, all has to be taken by us in order to fulfill this Sharanagati. Now, after doing this, Girish started propagating Thakur's name as he is an avatar. That Thakur is an avatar. And because of this surrendering to him, now I am finding peace in my life. Girish goes to everyone and he starts claiming this. At this time, Thakur was a Kashipur, suffering from cancer. One day, his cancer, this pain in his throat, lessened a little, and he came out in the garden. And he saw that Girish was standing there before him. So immediately Thakur went to him and he asked him that, hey Girish, what are you saying to everyone? Why are you telling people that I am an avatar? So immediately all this big story in that came alive in Girish's mind. He made Sashtang Pranam to the lotus feet of Thakur and he prayed that Vyas and Valmiki themselves cannot fathom the depth of purity and holiness of someone. Who am I to sing the praise of that person? This Vyas and Valmiki, they praise the greatness of Krishna and Rama. Even then, Ramayana and Bhagavatam are not complete because the glory of Rama and Krishna, they can never be captured in words. So if they cannot, with all their power and poetry, cannot sing the glory of Sri Rama and Sri Krishna, who am I to sing your glory? The moment Girish said this, Thakur went into Bhava and he touched him and he said, what else do I say? What else shall I say? I bless you all that you all attain enlightenment. Tomader Shakaler Chaitanya Ho. This is what he said in Bengali. And the moment he said, everyone who was there, they came running because they realized that Thakur has gone into a higher state of consciousness. And they all fall to his feet. Thakur touched everyone who were there. And then he gave them this blessing that you may all attain this enlightenment. Now remember, this is those people who cannot do any tapasya by themselves, because most of us problem is that our willpower is not that strong. In Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, we have seen rishis and sadhakas and saints doing so much tapasya. But today our willpower is weak, and for us this Sharanagati, total surrender to the lotus feet of God, is a perfect way of sadhana. And so this is the story of the Kalpataru day, and this is also the story of the transformation of Girish Ghosh. Oh, Krishna foundation on the Hari Boy, the Sat Chigi, and Ramakrishna, and Hari Krishna.